Hello and welcome. If you're new around here, my name is Kati and this channel is about my love for stationery, journaling and planning, and today we need to talk. Yeah, this is that kind of situation. We need to have like an emergency meeting, and the topic today is my stationery spending. We have now reached the mid-year check-in point, and when I did my previous confession video where I show you all stationery that I have bought in a month and tell you how much I spent, after making that video and looking at those numbers while I was editing that video, I was like, oh, I have spent my budget for the whole year in 6 months. So I will show you the numbers and we will need to talk what we will do about it, or what I will do about it. Let's see. So here's my spending tracker, which was good in this situation because I could go through what all I have spent, but I did do a nice I did this. Can you guess? If you watched my previous video, yeah, I used the new stencil. I was like, oh, this would be so perfect. Now I can use my stencil. This. So I was able to make my chart with that. Yeah, that stencil was also expensive, but let's go now to serious business. So this is where my money has went this year, and I checked my orders, what all I have bought, and I'm not surprised. This 52% is for one store. Can you guess what store that is? Where has my money went? It's MeePlus. No surprise if you have watched my videos. I have been buying a lot from MeePlus lately because, well, that's my obsession nowadays. But the second one, what is the second biggest category in my spending this year? It's a surprise. It's like it came out of nowhere and it has taken a lot of my money. Any guesses? It's not a store, it's a brand. Stalogy. And I counted here all the orders that I have made due to Stalogy. And also I counted the stencil order because in the end I threw in the cart a way more expensive Stalogy journal than the stencil was in the first place. So that's the amount I have used or spent due to Stalogy. Thank you. And then the last 14% is everything else. All the other shopping I have done, like second-hand shopping, a sticker order, and everything else is in this smaller number. So it's good that we have the two main suspects, or they are not, no, they are guilty as charged. They are no suspects, it's there. So, and then the amount I have spent this year until this day. The biggest problem in this situation is now that I have I can't even say it. Idealistic? Yes, I have an idealistic budget. So in the dream world, in my dreams, I would spend only 50 euros on stationery per month. In a year, that ends up being 600 euros. So there you can see the problem. I have almost already spent 600 euros, so I don't have left a lot. I have only 60 euros and 4 cents left for the rest of this year, and we are in the midpoint. So that's the problem here. It's the right thing to call my budget idea. Why did I choose such a hard word? Idealistic, because have I ever spent so little on stationery? Can you guess? At least not in the previous 3 years. Let's look at some numbers. And you can see that I have never been even close to only spending 600 or less in a year. Yeah, so it surely is an idealistic budget. There must be a easier to pronounce word for that. Yeah, good choosing. So here we can see that actually 80 euros would be like closer to what I really spend on stationery in a month. Of course, we could say that this is not a problem, that I have already spent so much, because if I don't spend any money anymore this year, then it's not a problem. I will reach my goal. I have reached my goal and we can call it a day. But as I said, there is almost 6 months left and I would like to buy things for my 2027 lineup. So we will go now here. This is my spending planner and I haven't shown you this setup before, but now is time to show it because we are talking about where my money goes. So this is a Smithson pocket rings. They are here to remind me only buy unicorn things, like unique things or things I really want, and skip all those other things that are not so necessary or really me. But actually I don't even yeah, I don't think a unicorn is me. I have never understood the excitement about those, but I got it because I was like, okay, I will try if I could get it, but no, I still don't get it. So this is a funny reminder to follow your own path and not the path of others. Yeah, if you got the irony there. So here I have how many categories? 4 maybe. So first is my system update. So I track here when I do something new in my planning and journaling system. So I just like to track that, and then of course it helps here when I make these videos that I can check what happened and so on. And I just like to keep track of that. And also previously I was tracking like how long I stick in one planner system or size or so, but now I'm so happy in my pocket rings daily planner, which has a big part also in this 52%. So I have been in a pocket size daily planner so long, so I haven't even updated my tracker from that section yet now, but okay. So the second section is my stationery. Why does it say stationery planning? Okay, well, it's like I plan new setups, what I would like to buy, what notebook and so on, and also have my wish lists. And so then the third category is my fun spending, and then I have an ABC index. Oh, where did I get this white on my fingers? Here's my stationery section, and here is what I have planned that I would need to buy this year. So I would like a new health tracker for next year. I was thinking not to buy that one that I have this year, so I need to come up with something else. So I was a bit thinking about the Hobonichi A6 Weekly. I don't know how much that costs nowadays, or then I would make something else out of dot grit paper or grit paper, but yeah, that's a question mark, as you can see. And then I would like or need, it's really not a need, although it's convenient. I would like a 2027 calendar for my pocket rings, so my daily planner. But it's not out yet, I can't buy it yet, and I checked today. So the 2026 calendar is €2.95, and then if I would only buy that, the shipping is almost €9, so it would cost me €12. So I don't know yet. And then I just wrote here some wish list items. So if you look at these, it would be only like, I would say, €30. So I would have everything that I want and need for my next year's lineup. So I would survive with the €60 that I have left. But as I said, I'm not sure about this yet, what I will use, what I can get, and with all the prices and customs and so on, so everything is so unsure now. Previously I have bought this from Amazon Japan. Yeah, of course I could check how much it would cost for next year, but I'm a bit like it would probably be a bit expensive. So yeah, so I just write ideas, wishes. Here I have written what all inserts I have in my stash now, and then this calendar is if I would have something that I would need or want to buy in a certain month, so I can here plan with sticky notes. Luckily, as you can see, I don't have a lot. I don't really have any urgent needs or wants, so the 60 euros could work, but yeah. But it's like if I have spent 5 times that much, is it 5 times? No, 5 times doesn't, it's not, what? No, 11 times, 10 times, 9 times. Oh my math. 9 times 60 is 540. Yeah, so I have spent 9 times that 60 euros in the first 6 months. So I'm a bit like hesitant that I would be happy with the 60 euros the next 6 months. So that's, yeah. So then, what else? My last section. Yes, here I then have wish lists for all the other things I like to buy and spend my money on. And this ABC index is, I keep track of in another hobby of things that I decide that I'm not going to buy. And then I write when I wrote that down and the reason why I'm not going to buy it. So then when I get again curious about that item, I can come here and check, do I have it already on the no buy list and what was the reason for it? And then if I have a new reason for not buying it, I can write it again in the list. Yeah, that's my spending obsession things. So in that way, what I have now on my need to buy list, the 60 euros would be enough. But let's still check what I calculated here, because I wanted to see, because if the 80 euros is what I normally spend, then I have had one positive problem this year. I have had more money to spend on stationery, and that's of course caused the problem that I have spent more than I would want, because if I wouldn't have had that money in my sinking fund, I wouldn't have had anything to spend. So I know that about myself. If I have more money in the account, I will spend more. So that way it doesn't work for me that I save up money in my stationary sinking fund account, because if I don't have a goal or a reason why I'm saving that money, like I would like a new cover or make a big Hobonichi order or whatever, so if I don't have that reason, I will just spend the money. And I have tried also, I have talked about that in some year, because I was thinking that I would have like a new zero. And what I mean about that is that I would think that my account is at zero when it has, for example, 100 euros or 200 euros. So that way I would always have there like a buffer if there would be like a release that it's like, oh, I need to have it. So I think that would be also now good to go back to that new zero thinking and decide what is my new zero, and then save up to that. And first, when I have reached that point, I can then again start spending money. Yeah, I need to think about that. That's a good idea. So we have kind of like 2 options here. Either I spend less or I allow myself a bigger budget. If the idealistic budget isn't working, I could allow myself the 80 euros per month, which is something apparently that I can pretty easily reach. But again, this year I have spent almost 90 euros per month. So this is what I have done this year. It was my average was now 89.63 euros. So I have spent almost 90 euros this year per month, so we would reach this amount at the end of the month. So that's why I wrote business as usual in 26. So if I would aim for this, I would have this amount still to spend this year. So almost the same amount. No, it's even more what I have now spent. But I don't. That's the thing. I don't want to spend that amount of money on stationery. Although it's my passion, although I love it, I can't allow myself to spend such amount on stationery. Way back, my goal was that I would have 100 euros per month to spend on stationery. But now it's like when I think about how much I can buy with that, I don't want to end up with new stationery with 1,200 euros every year. That's too much. I can't handle that amount of stuff. No, I can't. So then I know it's like I need to start like letting it go, and that's not a good way to use my money. So I kind of like want to slash that. I don't want to spend so much. Then we reach the okay level, which is the 80 euros, which I have done in 23 and 25. But then I would have 420 euros to spend still this year. And that's a lot of money. And I don't see myself spending so much because I don't have any cover needs. I don't have any big planner needs. Oh, yeah, of course, someone would probably just buy one fountain pen and the money would be gone. But I'm not buying expensive fountain pens. I can't afford that. So I don't want to aim here. Then I decided that 70 euros would be a good level. I would be happy about that because that's less than in 3 previous years. So that's why I said that would be good because it's less. So that would be already amazing. And then I would still have 300 euros to spend this year. And that's a lot of money. And it still would be less than I have spent in previous years. So that's already good, as it says, good. Then 60 euros, I would have 100. Oh, and if you are not like so like a math person, I have calculated this, that this 90 euros times 12 months is this 1,080 euros, and I reduce from this the amount that I have already spent this year, so then I get the amount that I would have still to spend this year. Sorry, I didn't say that earlier. So if I would allow myself to use 60 euros per month, I would still have 180 euros. And that's a good amount. I think although this is like the normal level, this would be already good. I would see myself reaching at least this level. And that would be already so much better than previous years. And then is my stupid goal that I have set for myself, that I would spend max. It's like maximum. Like I'm aiming for less, but I would spend 50 euros per month, like on average. So then we end up with the 60 euros and 4 cents. So now I have to decide, do I have a really tight budget for the rest of the year, and I will make that do, or do I allow myself a bigger budget and give myself permission to spend if there is something that I would really want? Remember the unicorn. I'm not buying. I shouldn't buy anything that I don't really want or need or I think is good quality, and it's like I can, yeah, so I have strict guidelines for what to buy, because things that are like low quality just irritate me, and I'm not happy then with the money spent there. So I need to decide how much stationery is enough and how much is too much. And we will see, of course, at the end of the year, where did I end up. And I have talked about that in my previous videos, that the EU customs change, that sparked a lot of shopping in May and June, and that has now that has now caused this problem, because I was just thinking about the EU customs change and I didn't think about the rest of the year. I was just aiming for getting as much as possible things inside before July. So now I'm like, okay, I spent all my money, what now? So what do you think about these budgets? Do you have a stationery budget, monthly or yearly, or like some fun money that you can use freely? How much? And what do you think about these? Where do you think is a good level to aim? Am I too strict with the 50 euros because of inflation and prices going up and shipping costs being so expensive, and now the new EU customs charges and fees and whatever? Is my budget too idealistic? Should I be more like, what would be like but I have a lot of nice things. You know that if you watched my videos, so I don't. This is a tricky one, because it's nothing necessary. This is a fun hobby and a passion. Of course, the journaling and planning also helps my mental health. So sometimes I give myself, for that reason, permission to buy more things, nicer things, because it helps my mental health. But somewhere needs to be the limit. And I will now think about the new 0 level, what that would be. And then I have this now. So if I end up here, I see it's okay. If I end up here, I know it's good. It's better than previously. I need to be, I don't know the word now. I need to give myself some leeway. I don't need to be so strict on myself. So if I end up here, it's good. This is better and this is best. But is this really? Well, I can aim here. That's like, but if I don't reach it, I don't need to punish myself. Or do you understand? It's like, these are now my mid-year check-in thoughts about my stationery spending, where I am, what I need to do now, or how I need to think about it, and so on. And of course, I will keep sharing, and I'm thinking that I have a plan that in the future, I will again delay my confession video so that I would have more time to spend with the new items before I show you them, so I would have a clearer opinion about them. So we are now in July, and I have already done my June confession video. So my July confession video will come out in September. So there will be now a bigger break between my confession videos. But I will keep doing them. I will keep sharing. It helps me with my accountability. And I will put these now here as a reminder in my stationery section, so that I will see these numbers and be reminded about where I'm aiming. If you have any questions or comments, any advice you want to give me, please comment down below. And if you enjoyed this chatty video, please like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you so much for watching. I always love to discuss these stationery problems with my YouTube friends because I don't have any stationery friends in real life. I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you down below in the comments and in my next video. Bye bye!